Hi, this is Heather from IFeelLikeAMillion.com and harrysfood.com. Recipe today is a nutty couscous. Now, I talked about it in my Twitter last week about how I used it as a side dish with some salmon, very quickly grilled salmon, very nice, quick meal. And I know I used couscous in the last recipe I did, but it really is just one of those things in terms of my planning. But also couscous is a fantastic grain. It really is very simple to cook. Great to use when you've only got a few minutes to prepare a quick healthy meal. But again, don't use it every day. The fact that it does prepare so quickly is an indication that it is a more refined grain. So if you're wanting to get your full complement of nutrients, you do need to look to include your brown rice, your whole wheat bread, your spelt, etc. into your nutritional intake. But this is something that's really quick, really easy to prepare. And I know a lot of people think that couscous is a bit of a bland ingredient and a bland side dish, but I'm going to show you a way that really just makes it a little bit of fun. So about 1/4 of a cup per person. I'm just cooking here for two, so that's half a cup of that. Half a cup of boiling water I shall add in just a moment. I've already boiled my kettle. Now to give it a bit of flavour, just a couple of really simple things. Some ground pepper, freshly ground black pepper, and a little bit of stock powder. I've used one that's low salt, has no nastiness added to it, generally available in a good sort of health food shop, but actually most supermarkets supply them now as well. And then 2 parts of the same size cup of boiling water. Just a kind of extra for luck. Put that back there, and then just stir it through with a fork. Just integrate the nice seasoning, and just leave it at the side. It takes about 10-11 minutes. The whole grain couscous is available at harrysfood.com, so just let me know if you need to get any of that. Okay, so I'm just leaving that at the side. I won't let it go for the full 10 minutes because the film is shorter than this, but this is a little bit truncated and speeded up. So now I'm going to do the toasted seeds. So I've just got a dry frying pan. It's a frying pan I've had for a very long time. I've dropped it once, so the lip is perfectly shaped for tossing seeds. Now, I'm going to do some sesame seeds and some sunflower seeds. Now, you can get these pre-toasted, but it's a very expensive way of doing things. So I find if you do your own, and you also then get them fresher. Now, because they have different cooking times, cook them singly, and I don't mean that by saying cook one seed at a time, as somebody once suggested to me. Cook the sesame seeds, then do the sunflower seeds. If you want to do something like pumpkin seeds, they all work in exactly the same way. You don't need to add any extra fat because that's pretty much what they're made up of, so they will brown very simply without having to add any extra fat. Some people do them in the oven. This is just really quick and simple. So as I say, I'm going to do sesame seeds and sunflower seeds, just so happens that's what I have in the cupboard at the moment. Pumpkin seeds are absolutely fantastic, great source of fibre and essential fatty acids. And pine nuts as well, you can also toast in the same way. You can do nuts in the same way. Again, just watch those. They are all very moreish, and although they're all very good for you, don't forget that they are quite high in fat. In fact, they're very high in fat. But it's that sort of balancing act of you need these fats. These are quality fats. You do need to incorporate them into your regular nutritional intake. But yes, just watch the quantity. You also might find if you buy them in a health food shop already done, they've had a little bit of tamari, which is a wheat-free soy sauce, or a little bit of spicing added to them. That's really, it's a way of sort of making them a little bit more exciting. But for me personally, I actually like them just with their own natural flavours coming through. Now you'll notice I'm tossing them quite regularly. They burn very easily. High fat content, and they're tiny. So just make sure you don't burn them. And you just want to get a nice light brown coming through, and you'll start to smell this gorgeous sort of nutty smell going on. Absolutely fantastic. And then as soon as they start to brown, you just need to put them into a separate dish, allow them to cool. If you put them straight into a sealed container, then they'll sweat a little bit, and then they'll lose that nice crunchiness, which is what you're trying to get by toasting them. Okay, so just starting to brown. Now, sesame seeds are a little bit tenacious, they tend to stick to things. straight on and do the sunflower seeds. Now, a good thing to do is to do a batch of these once a week. As I say, one of the things that, for me personally, the ones that are pre-done, not only are they a lot more expensive and you're basically paying for somebody to do something that just takes a couple of minutes, and you can do very easily at home. The other thing is that as soon as you've heated oil and then cool it down, it starts to go off sometimes. I don't know if you've ever opened up a tin of seeds or some peanut butter, something like that, where nuts have been processed or seeds have been processed, and you smell that slightly sort of rancid smell. Really, that's the oil starting to go off once they've been previously heated. So again, for me personally, do it fresh. Just do a few that you need for that meal. I cook enough for a week for myself. I keep them in an airtight jar, either in the fridge. I know my mum keeps hers in the fridge. I just keep them in the cupboard. I think that's cool enough. But there again, she lives in Africa, so a little bit warmer there. Okay, so again, these cook really, really quickly. You do need to watch them. I have cremated several frying pans full of seeds in the years. But yeah, so just again, waiting for that just slight brownness, crispiness just coming through. It really is fantastic, and so terribly, terribly easy that you really do not need to pay twice the price just to have somebody else have done it for you. And those are just about done. As I say, with the couscous, it would have taken a little bit longer for it to mature. But for the sake of brevity and getting this all onto a short film, so I'm just going to stir those through. The couscous, as soon as it's ready, and actually here's one I prepared earlier, so you'll see that the couscous has absorbed all of the water, got a little bit of flakes of black pepper in there, and I'm just going to add a couple of spoons of the toasted seeds, and this is a fantastic side dish with fish, with a tagine, it's great for vegetarians and non-vegetarians alike. So just sprinkling those in, just stirring it through, and I think without exception, everybody that I've given these to has a taste and goes, I never liked couscous before. Well, they can make a difference. So, I feel like $1 million, harrysfood.com. Bon appetit!